Man, just sit there and shut up. This ain't no democracy.
Yes, it is.
No, it ain't. This is the United States. Your ass belong to me. They don't give a damn about you. They don't like you. I don't like you. Nobody likes you.
What's up, guys? It's your boy, Benny. I love it when CNN grabs a bottle of Purell and a hazmat suit and leaves their cushy offices in Manhattan or in Washington, D.C. and goes to the middle of the country to see how Joe Biden's policies are destroying everyday life. And they get utterly body checked by populations of people that should normally vote Democrat and are like, my God, this shit is crazy. We are not voting for Joe Biden again. CNN broadcasts these, even though they go and they interview only liberals, CNN often gets completely destroyed. And that just happened when CNN went to Milwaukee, a swing state, obviously, very important swing state. Gotta win it, right? In Wisconsin, Hillary Clinton loses to Wisconsin, Donald Trump wins the presidency, right? Joe Biden must win Wisconsin to beat Donald Trump in 2024, talking to black people in inner city super blue Democrat Wisconsin, and they're all like, eh. And then the CNN anchor is like goes on an on-air panic attack meltdown because black voters aren't completely 100% like, we will vote for Joe. Watch this. It's epic.
People are wondering, what is he doing in terms of police accountability and criminal justice reform?
Lang also says the president better show up more.
People always want to see people actually paying attention, and sometimes that means being able to physically be here and engaged.
Black turnout soared here in the Obama years, but it dropped in 2016 and was flat in 2020.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you grade the Joe Biden presidency in terms of its impact on your life and your community?
A 4.
A 4.
Yeah, and I love Joe.
Devette Baker, though, sees a reason for optimism.
The alternative is the man whose name I try not to say.
Well, I'll say it. As we sit here today, the likely alternative is Donald Trump.
Right.
Would that be enough to motivate people, even if maybe they're a little on Biden?
I think so.
Joanna Brooks is one such voter. She owns a yoga studio just across the Milwaukee line in Glendale.
All right, y'all.
Like many we met in the city, Brooks says black voters get taken for granted.
Black people in general, I think, tend to be pretty loyal to the Democratic Party. And sometimes I wonder, just based on how that party has performed thus far for people of color, if we should continue to be.
But Brooks says that accountability exercise must wait until after 2024 because of constant Republican attacks on abortion rights and voting rights.
I grew up almost certain that my rights were guaranteed, right? I took it for granted. And now as I sit and watch the work of so many black folks during the civil rights movement, so many women who fought for women's rights, when I see all of their work slowly being undone, that was a wake-up call for me, for sure. You have to fight.
Eric Jones is no Trump fan, but he thinks it's foolish to bet on Trump motivating black turnout.
I get people saying they're not going to vote. That's my fear, that if they see those two and they're going to say, screw it, we're damned anyways.
We met Jones at the 5th anniversary of the Bronzeville Collective. Several local artists sell their goods here. It is a source of smiles and hope in a community often defined by poverty and a high incarceration rate.
When the factories and the manufacturing left, jobs left. When jobs leave and opportunities leave, then you have certain things that are domino effects, right?
Jones says the president should stop by and learn a lesson.
You bring opportunities, you bring jobs, you get votes. Plain and simple.
For the president, it is the mood a year from now that matters most. But the mood today is bleak.
If you're Joe Biden and you want to be reelected, he'd have a problem today, right?
Yes, he will. He'll have a big problem.
Johnson's work could well help the president. But listen.
If it were just Biden and Trump, who would you vote for?
That's just a tough one.
A young man who says the country needs big change. Determined to boost Milwaukee's black turnout, yet not sure who gets his vote.
And just stunning, that young man there, I don't know who I'm going to vote for, a young black man in Milwaukee who's actually part of this activist community. Then you have the older black women answering the door, Say, yeah, people died for my right to vote, but I'm not sure I'm going to vote because I'm so disaffected and disenchanted. And it matters. There's a year to fix it. But remember, 2 times in a row, Wisconsin alone, big battleground state, decided by about 20,000 votes. So it doesn't take many people staying home or going the other way to flip the state.
I love how CNN there is effectively like trying to do damage control for Joe Biden. Joe Biden's support collapses with black voters. These are the headlines that are being written this month. An increasing number of polls showing a growing dissatisfaction with the prospect of Joe Biden running for a second term among black voters. An NBC News poll found that Joe Biden had slipped from 80% support to 63% support for black voters. Dude, if you're at 50% support for black voters, and by the way, these polls are all rigged, then you are losing. You're losing. Are black and Hispanic Americans abandoning Joe Biden? Yes, President Joe Biden has an enthusiasm problem. He kicked off his re-election bid, but black voters are not supporting Joe Biden. Biden has lost ground with black and Hispanic Americans. My goodness. Look at the collapse here. And it's getting worse. This is getting worse. Look at based Hispanics. Goodness gracious. Guys, it's really, really bad. It's really bad. Wisconsin is a border state to Iowa. CNN went to Iowa, had the same problem. Now, Iowa is a consistently red state now, very much Donald Trump winning state. But Iowa, man, when CNN went to Iowa and got like their entire world wrecked by facts like this, right? Like, so if black supporters and Hispanic supporters are all abandoning Biden, what do you think is happening with white rural voters in the red state of Iowa? This is one of the most unbelievable things that has ever aired on CNN. Compliments for them for airing it because they get their asses handed to them. Watch the salty, salty tears. Watch.
Friends and family around the table don't watch and don't trust CNN. There is reverence for Ronald Reagan here. But listen.
The trust is gone.
Reagan's optimism replaced by Trump's grievances.
We got to find our own way to take care of ourselves.
Reagan's disdain of big government replaced by Trump's distrust of just about everything.
I think he thinks he was stolen from him.
Still questions about the 2020 election.
And I had a lot of people who agreed with him.
Criticism of the Trump prosecutions.
But nothing about that deal is the American way. I don't think.
And this.
If you think the United States should be supporting Ukraine in the fight against Putin, raise your hand. Nobody.
You don't have to be that smart to connect the dots, right? And so is the war to cover up sins committed so you can cover your tracks? There's too much money that's been thrown over there.
You think all the NATO countries would do what Biden told them to do because he's trying to cover up some Hunter Biden business deal by...
It all depends on how Zelensky, how much dirt he has on Biden to keep the money coming.
That's out there.
No, because it's my deal, right?
Hey, well, how do you trust when you know the government has shut down Facebook and shut down Twitter and told them to not show certain news stories?
A few days here makes clear Trump's grip is very strong.